tonight are on the broad road that leads to destruction. And tonight, I would say with Moses, I would say with Joshua, turn, repent, choose God, serve Him, live for Him. That is the message of God tonight to this great audience of people at Yankee Stadium.
I see revival coming to planet Earth, maybe as never before. It would be untold numbers, and untold, uncounted multitudes that will be saved. The dead will be raised. The arthritic will be healed. Cancer will be healed. No disease would be able to stand before God's people, and that it would be a worldwide situation.
There's a church that doesn't just know about God, they know God. They don't just believe in His power, they carry His power. God will shake the United States of America one last time, not by might, not by power, but by my Spirit.
Welcome to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, as Adalis and I are here to announce our next big move, biggest move we've ever made for Revival Today. Behind me is a building that will look nothing like it looks right now when we finish. We're on just under 5 acres of property that we've just finished purchasing, which is going to give us the ability to have a state-of-the-art studio. And in that studio, something I've wanted to have for a long time, which is a live studio audience. It's going to be a 500-seat building when we finish with it that'll give us the ability to touch the world with our broadcasts. This facility is going to give me the ability to do what I've really missed, which is having you in the audience to minister to personally. Obviously, you can't beat the reach of digital media. We touch the whole world every day. But we have the ability now with this to lay hands on people, pray for people that are sick, a place where you can bring people that are drug addicted, demonized, and really give them the ministry that you can't get on YouTube and Facebook. I can't wait. And then beyond that, we're going to announce the launch of Revival Today Church. We're going to hold Holy Ghost church services every Sunday morning. I'll be there most Sunday mornings. This isn't going to be like some little side project. We're going to give you and your family a place you can go that's a soul-winning church that values the presence of God, where you can get prayed for and ministered to, where there's not a critical race theory lecture or a masks and social distancing 10 minutes of no talking to anybody in the lobby. None of that. We're going to have a place where you're free and where you're free to experience the presence of God.
I'm incredibly excited because I know a lot of you have been asking about different meetings and events that we couldn't have during COVID, and trust me, we tried so hard. So this really frees us up to do everything that we want to do with healing meetings and women's conferences. So I am so looking forward to seeing you and having you be a part of this.
So I want to give you a twofold call to action. Number one, if your church turned in to a liberal nightmare in 2020 and you need a place to go, I would be happy to have you at our church. Number two, if you are a partner or a friend of our ministry, Revival Today, this is the biggest move by far we've ever made. By the time we finish remodeling that building, the acquiring of the property, you're looking at a couple of M's. So if you would stand with us now, I'll say thank you ahead of time. Pray and ask the Holy Ghost what He would have you to do. You've been so generous, and I thank you ahead of time for your extreme generosity. I know I speak on behalf of my wife, everybody here at Revival Today, when I say we love you very much. And now I can say I look forward to seeing you face to face here at the new home of Revival Today.
Hey. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Check the Market. And it's a new month too, August already. Welcome Ninja Buddha, Alicia, Melissa, Rose, Kenny. And the markets are open, and it's looking good today. The futures are up, and now the markets are open, and the markets are up. So it's good. Good start to the week here. Crypto is up. Crypto is cranking. We missed a good week last week on Check the Market. Bitcoin, Ethereum, everything, XRP, XLM, everything's up. So if you got into crypto last week Friday when Doug and I were talking about it, it would have actually been a good point to get in, because it's been cranking like crazy. We were up to over 40,000 for Bitcoin. Let me take a look here, see where we're at right now. I think it was back down to like 39. 39.3. Ethereum 25.90. Ethereum for this past month is up over 20%. And even more from the low in the like $1,800 low that it had back in the middle of July. So, crypto's cranking. Melissa, good morning. Marie, Marsha, Jeanette, John, owe them. Need good advice because I owe them. Oh, who? Robinhood. I owed Robinhood this morning. I opened up my app and I saw that they'd charged me for the Robinhood Gold or whatever, and I had $0 left to invest in there. Like no cash sitting, so I had to put money in it so that I can pay, because I was behind on it. So I owed them too, but now I don't. So. All right, let's see the first article. Let's get started. Get right into it. Stock futures point to higher start as August trade kicks off. And it looks like we're still in the positive here. Let's see the article. U.S. stock futures advanced on Monday as investors eyed progress on an infrastructure bill, merger activity, and a sign that central bank stimulus may continue. They're going to keep printing money as long as they can. Last week, the major stock market indexes dropped, with the S&P losing 0.4, NASDAQ dropping 1.1 after the mega cap tech companies reported quarterly results. The Dow also fell 0.4 last week. The S&P rose 2.3%. In, I believe they mean July, for its sixth consecutive monthly gain. The stars have aligned for stock markets, with stellar earnings season being complemented by record low real yields and hopes that Congress will deliver more fiscal juice soon, said Marios, I'm not going to attempt that, senior investment analyst at XM. U.S. senators over the weekend concluded the text of a $1 trillion infrastructure bill. In a speech delivered Friday night, Fed Governor Lael Brainard suggested that the central bank won't announce a tapering of its bond purchase program. They're just going to be talking about it. At the Jackson Hole gathering at the end of the month, I expect to be more confident in assessing the rate of progress once we have data in hand for September, when consumption, school, and work patterns should be settling into a post-pandemic normal. The September's jobs data won't come until October 8th, according to the Labor Department calendar of releases. The next jobs report covering July is scheduled for release on Friday, so we'll be taking a look at that. The Institute for Supply Management manufacturing report is due at 10 a.m. Eastern. What companies are in focus today? Square is buying Australia-listed buy now, pay later company Afterpay for $29 billion. Parker Hannifin said it's buying UK engineering company Meggitt PLC for $9 billion cash. News Corp announced an agreement to buy oil price information service for $1.15 billion in cash from S&P Global and IHS Markit Limited. Continue. What are other markets doing? Dollar index is down. Oil futures are down. European equities are up. Asian equities were up too. Continue. All right, next. Bitcoin drops after posting biggest weekly gain in 3 months. Is crypto back, everybody? I think it is. It might be. I think we're going to see, what they said, an article that I read on here, was it 3 weeks ago, that it's going up to 1 point something, 4 point something million, 4.7. To the moon, guys. Bitcoin. Let's see the article. Bitcoin drops after posting biggest weekly gain in 3 months. Bitcoin pulled back to around 40,000 after climbing over the weekend to the highest level since May. The largest cryptocurrency fell about 4.8% to 39,280 as of 8:42 in New York after dropping as much as 5.6% Monday. Other virtual coins, including second-ranked Ether, also fell. Analysts suggested profit-taking lay behind the declines. This is just normal pullback following bullish action, said Vijay Iyer, head of Asia Pacific with crypto exchange Luno in Singapore. This is just a normal pullback. The declines put Bitcoin back in the top end of a $30,000 to $40,000 trading range that's been in place since the cryptocurrency rout in May. It touched 42,605 on Sunday, the highest since May. It rallied almost 20% last week, the biggest increase in 3 months. Continue. The token has helped in recent weeks by supportive comments from billionaire Elon Musk, Cathie Wood, as well as speculation over Amazon.com's possible involvement in the cryptocurrency sector. At the same time, scrutiny of the industry is intensifying. That includes a push by U.S. legislators for stricter rules on cryptocurrency investors to collect more taxes to fund a portion of a planned $550 billion investment into transportation and power systems. Crypto traders are also awaiting a software upgrade expected this week to the Ethereum network. It could boost Ether's price by trimming the pace at which the token supply grows. Continue. There's the trading range for the past couple of months, and it just spiked above that 40,000 range there over this weekend. And last week was crazy. It went from 30,000 to 34,000 over the weekend, and then it just kept cranking throughout the week. So it was a good week for crypto. Can you play that meme video that I found? Because that was my reaction this weekend when I saw Bitcoin at 42.
Looks sort of like Doc Brown. I mean, he is going crazy. Oh my goodness. He's like
So that was my reaction all last week whenever I opened up my crypto wallets and I saw the green. I was excited. Felt like dancing. All right, let's keep going. It could be a big week for Bitcoin. Here's what could decide it, says strategist. Continue. August is kicking off in the green with stock futures tracking gains out of Asia in a week that will finish off with another batch of big U.S. jobs data. Also on the move is Bitcoin, which shot past 40,000 this weekend for the first time since mid-May after 2 months of sideways trading, but that level seems slippery judging by early action Monday. Our call of the day from Matt Malley, Miller and Tabak Co.'s chief market strategist, who offers some fresh insight into what's needed for the gains to stick this time. For starters, he repeats some past advice for investors to gauge the action during normal market hours. The markets are much thinner and the volumes are much lower on the weekends, so we'll want to see if Bitcoin can remain above 40,000 once we get into next week before we get too excited. If Bitcoin holds up, he points to the next target as its 200-day daily moving average, which stands at 44,600. It got up to near that level twice since May and rolled over both times. Therefore, it could/should provide some resistance upon any further rally in early August. Continue. A break above that line would see crypto shoot a lot higher rather quickly. In other words, it might need to take a breather to digest its gains at its 200-day daily moving average. But if it breaks above that level in any significant way, whether it's soon or after a breather, it should be very bullish for Bitcoin. But there's a caveat to that potentially bullish view, as he also notes the crypto is starting to look overbought on a short-term basis based on its relative strength index, a wildly followed oscillating indicator that tracks the magnitude of recent losses relative to the magnitude of recent gains. Don't get us wrong, it got much more overbought before it rolled over in January and February and in November of last year. However, it's more overbought than it was at the all-time high in April, so investors and traders alike will have a lot more confidence if this weekend's move holds into the middle of next week. Continue. The strategist also weighed in on whether Ether, saying a break in the crypto's 200 daily moving average would be bullish, and a break above 2288 from the highs of late May and early June particularly bullish, as it would create a technical indicator known as a higher high. Payment firm Square announced... Oh, we already went into that. Okay, next. Square agrees to acquire Afterpay for a $29 billion all-stock deal. So we've talked about Afterpay and Klarna and what's the one they have here? What's that? Affirm, that's right, it was Affirm. So they're the companies that is like a pay now, buy now, pay later installment plan type thing. So it looks like Afterpay is getting bought by Square. Let's see the article. Square Inc. has agreed to acquire Afterpay in an all-stock deal worth around $29 billion, illustrating how financial technology companies are seeking scale to challenge banks for a bigger slice of the payments industry. Square said a key attraction of the deal was a growing awareness towards traditional credit among younger consumers, a group particularly hard hit by the COVID-19 pandemic, as lockdowns crushed many hospitality and casual jobs. Afterpay's technology allows users to pay for goods in 4 interest-free installments while receiving the goods immediately. Customers pay a fee only if they miss an automated payment, a transgression that also locks their account until the balance is repaid. Australia-based Afterpay, which has yet to turn a profit, says this limits bad debts, particularly in a downturn when job security is shaky and household finances are stretched. Most of Afterpay's revenue comes from retail merchants, which pay a percentage of the value of each order placed by customers plus a fixed fee. Square and Afterpay have a shared purpose, says Jack Dorsey, Square chief executive. We built our business to make the financial system more fair, accessible, and inclusive, and Afterpay has built a trusted brand aligned with those principles. Continue. U.S. consumers flocked to buy now, pay later services like Afterpay during the pandemic, but credit card appeared to be coming back in favor. Demand for general-purpose credit cards rose sharply in April compared with the same period last year. According to credit reporting firm Equifax, lenders issued more general-purpose credit cards than any other March going back to at least 2010. The Afterpay deal is Square's biggest ever. Square has been looking for ways to tie its Cash App and seller ecosystems more closely together, Mr. Dorsey said on a call with analysts earlier this year. The Afterpay deal is a big step in that direction. Square, best known for its signature white card reader that plugs into phones, tablets, plans to add Afterpay as a financing option through the smaller merchants it serves. Afterpay customers will be able to make payments on their installment loans through Cash App, Square's digital payment services that allows people to store and transfer money as they would at a bank. And Cash App customers, Square said, will be able to use the app to find merchants that offer Afterpay's buy now, pay later financing. So I thought this was very interesting. It might be time for me to look at Square again as a company to invest in. I have invested in them before, but I closed out my position a while back. But I think that I might take a look at them again if they're going to keep doing things like that. I think it might be a good investment. All right, next. Good morning, Eric and Lee. Welcome. Coal projects in Asia face dwindling financing as climate pressure mounts. Banks pull back funds for new coal plants, a move that could accelerate the world's transition towards cleaner fuels, but China and India plans loom. See the article. Banks are cutting off funding for new coal-fueled power plants in poorer Asian countries, a move that could hasten the shift towards cleaner energy sources in some of the fastest-growing parts of the world. Asian financiers provide the bulk of funding for new coal projects in countries such as Vietnam and Bangladesh, after U.S. and European lenders largely stopped greenlighting coal deals over carbon emissions concerns. But most key financiers in Japan and South Korea, as well as some in China, have signaled in recent months that they are planning to stop or slow the flow of money for projects outside their borders as their governments increasingly view overseas coal projects as risky investments. In mid-July, China's Environment and Commerce Ministries advised some of the country's biggest overseas lenders against investing in coal by jointly publishing international investment guidelines instructing them to include climate considerations such as carbon emissions reductions in their project assessments. Climate researchers have argued to political leaders that Chinese-backed coal plants or projects abroad could get shut down or canceled before investment costs or financing are recovered, and could expose lenders to reputational risks, people familiar with the matter said. So I would keep an eye on this, because it's looking more and more like these the ESG plans. If you want to get financing from banks, you're going to have to include ESG plans, the environmental social governance plans, to get money at rates that are preferred. I wouldn't be surprised if some of these coal plants would get funding, but they would have to pay much higher interest rates than, say, for example, if you wanted to start a solar farm or something like that. You would get much better rates on your funding. So this is something that we're going to have to keep an eye on moving forward as we look at investments, as we look at what stocks to get in, to make sure that these companies aren't going to be at a disadvantage because they don't have access to funds. But I think this is going to be more and more as these governments push towards green energy, which who knows how that's all going to work out. They're going to have to work on getting nuclear power, much more nuclear power, so that they'll be able to satisfy the demand. That's for sure. So uranium is still a buy for me. Any companies that has anything to do with that. Kazatomprom, if you can invest in that in Kazakhstan, or UUUU. Here, uranium is the stock ticker. I think those are some that you can take a look at. Maybe even some energy companies that are investing in nuclear power, especially some of the smaller reactors that they're working on in Washington and some startups up there. That is something that I'm continuing to research and to look into, because we're going to see more and more of this where they try to shut down coal projects, and who knows what they're going to plan on doing next there. Tech startup financing hits records as giant funds dwarf venture capitalists. Hedge, mutual, and pension funds are investing heavily, lending to higher valuations and more leverage for company founders. See the article. Big money management firms expanded their dominance in Silicon Valley last quarter, crowding out venture capitalists in a once niche business and putting 2021 on pace to a nearly double last year's record in startup financing. Hedge funds, mutual funds, pensions, sovereign wealth groups, and other so-called non-traditional venture investors were more active in the second quarter than in any previous period, according to research firm PitchBook Data Inc. These firms participated in 42% of startup financing deals, and those deals accounted for more than 3/4 of the invested capital, according to PitchBook. Investment in U.S. startups for the first half of 2021 hit $150 billion, eclipsing full-year funding every year before 2020, according to a report from PitchBook. The large assets firms have massive pools of capital, move quickly, and are less likely to ask for board seats or involvement in company decisions, often making them more appealing to founders, according to interviews with investors and startup executives. The result has been a dizzying pace of deal-making. It's like speed dating, but more extreme, said Peter Fishman, a longtime Silicon Valley tech professional who last year co-founded data automation startup Mozart Data. Continue? Big money managers have allocated some of their portfolios to invest in traditional venture capitalist firms, but many started investing directly in startups around a decade ago in a near zero interest rate economy, looking for better returns from tech companies that were staying private longer. Over the years, traditional venture capitalists often panned them as tourist investors and dumb money who lacked the particular skill set for startup investing. But they stuck around and doubled down. Today, among the top 10 investors in startups by dollar amount, half are non-traditional venture investors, including Fidelity and Tiger Global Management. The number of startup funding rounds that include non-traditional VC investors and zero venture capitalist firms has doubled over the past 10 years, according to PitchBook. UK asset management firm Baillie Gifford, which has more than $450 billion under management, made its first startup investment in 2012, and in 2019 it launched a dedicated private market portfolio to really start pouring serious amounts of capital into late-stage private markets. Some traditional venture firms are scrapping old practices to keep pace, to move quickly. Some venture capitalists say they're cutting back on audits, and customer checks, and taking startups' words on profit and loss. So we're getting into a very interesting time here. When I see things like that, I get very careful because they're just throwing money around at this point. Who knows? I mean, we just saw, even over the weekend, we saw news, or last week, we saw news come out about the guy from Nikola, how he's now being investigated by the DOJ, the Department of Justice, for misleading shareholders. So this is, when there's so much capital in the market that they're just throwing money around, even in the private markets, on companies that might not make it, this is getting dangerous. I actually last week started to take some profits in my portfolio. This is it's getting risky, but I'm sure that the Fed will keep pumping money as long as they can. Yeah! Jonathan, XLM, I agree. I like XLM. I'm actually in Stellar Lumens. I'm not in Algo. I haven't looked at it, so I wouldn't be able to tell you about Algo. There's what's the one? Ripple, XLR. Is that what it is? XLM, that's the one I'm in, XLM. Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin. Those are the 5 that I'm in right now. And did pretty well. XRP, that's right. XRP, I'm in XRP, XLM. I haven't looked at Algo, so I can't speak to that. But there's a ton that are popping up, all the time. And I keep looking at some of them, how people are making, 17,000% returns on some of these just from one day. But it's always risky. I haven't looked at Algo. I will look at it though. Here, let me actually make a note of that. Anchor Coin. I don't know much about that either. I haven't looked at a lot of those altcoins. I'll take a look at that one. The biggest investment is in XRP and Bitcoin. I think it's about Bitcoin's more. I have more invested in Bitcoin than I have in XRP. Let me take a look at that Anchor Coin too. Let me make a note of that. XRP went up 20% just in the past 2 weeks as well. Around there. I mean, it had a huge spike there. All right, let's keep going. Global copper supply at risk as workers vote to strike. This could be an opportunity to make some money in the commodities market. Tightening global copper market is facing real possibility of simultaneous strike disruptions at 3 mines in Chile. Chile is one of the largest the top producer of copper in the world. By far the most serious threat to global supplies comes from Escondida, the biggest copper mine in the world, where workers rejected owner BHP Group's final wage offer in voting last week. Unless the two sides can reach a deal in government-mediated talks this week, the market may be left without production from a project that last year churned out 1.2 million metric tons. Two other smaller mines, Codelco's Andina and JX Nippon Mining and Metals, Caserones, are the same stage in their collective bargaining that puts upwards of 7% of world production at risk in a particularly sensitive moment in the metal cycle and in Chilean politics. Labor tensions are intensifying just as trillions of dollars in government stimulus fuel demand for industrial metals. Copper futures have gained over the past 2 weeks after retreating from an all-time high in May. On Monday, prices advanced to as much as 0.8 to $9,810 a ton on the LME and traded at $9,771.50 at 1:37 p.m. in London. The windfall enjoyed by producers is emboldening mine workers, with host nations also looking at ratcheting up taxes to help resolve inequalities exacerbated by the pandemic. In Chile, that's all playing out as the nation drafts new constitution that may lead to tougher rules on water, glaciers, minerals, and community rights. At the same time, companies are striving to keep labor costs in check in a cyclical business, and as ore qualities deteriorates and input prices start to rise. So that's something that we'll have to keep an eye on here. You might be able to make some money trading copper commodities. In last week's vote, members rejected BHP's proposal in an overwhelming 99.5%. Union leaders say companies dangling large one-time bonuses in exchange for longer hours, new demands in a bid to boost productivity and profit. BHP said its proposal included better conditions and new benefits, that it remains open to dialogue. So 7% of the global supply of copper might be in jeopardy here if these miners decide they're going to go on strike. Alan Dixon, all metals are going up. Yes, and metals are always a good investment. I have silver, physical silver, and then I own paper gold. GLD. Ticker symbol is GLD. Let's keep going. Authentic Brands IPO. 5 things to know about the company behind Sports Illustrated, Forever 21, and Marilyn Monroe. What's the basketball player's name? The guy who does the commercials for Gold Bond. Shaq, yes, Shaq. He actually owns this company, or a lot of it. He is a part owner of this company. It looks like they're planning to IPO. Let's see the article. Authentic Brands, the parent of retailers Forever 21 and 9 West, owner of Sports Illustrated, and a brand holder of the name, and rights to such legendary stars as Marilyn Monroe and Elvis Presley, has filed to go public. Cami, I would take a look at XLM and XRP. I believe XRP is trading at around 70 cents a share. Let me take a look here. 75 cents per XRP, and then XLM is at 28 cents per XLM. So if you're looking for a cryptocurrency that's a little bit more affordable, I would take a look at those. Also look at Bitcoin Cash, which is 559. Those are some that I would take a look at. Litecoin at 144. But yeah, those are some that I would take a look at there, if you're looking for a cheaper alternative to Bitcoin. The company is planning to trade on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticker AUTH. Bank of America, Securities, JP Morgan, and Goldman Sachs are the lead underwriters in a syndicate of 11 banks working on the deal. Authentic Brands will have 3 classes of stock. The Class A and Class C shares will carry 1 vote, while the Class B shares will carry multiple votes. The company says in its IPO filing documents, Class B stockholders will be able to convert their shares to Class A stock under certain circumstances. The company intends to use the proceeds of the IPO for general corporate purposes as well as repaying some of its debt. Next. I'll have to take a look, Charles, at the casino coin on the Flare network. Let me take a look at that. I'm glad they're calling it casino coin and they're just being like straightforward with that you're basically gambling. Morning, Doug. How's it going? I'm guessing your crypto portfolio is looking good since the last time we spoke. Was that Friday? Not this Friday, but last Friday. I'll have to take a look at that casino coin on Flare Network. All right, let's keep going. Authentic Brands describes itself as a brand development, marketing, and entertainment company. We own the intellectual property of our brands and receive licensing revenues from a diverse global network of licensees across a range of categories and territories. We don't manufacture anything. We are a licensing business and are purely focused on brand identity and marketing. The business model allows the company to have a strong royalty program. An asset-light operation doesn't include inventory or retail lease costs, and a focus on building and growing the brands in its portfolio. Salter, the former head of Hilco Consumer Capital, is identified as a key figure in the prospectus. So there you have it. Their Authentic Brands is going to IPO under AUTH, so I'd keep an eye on that. They own Marilyn Monroe and Elvis Presley, so every time a company wants to print shirts with their likeness on it, they're going to have to ask for permission from this company and pay royalties. Not a bad business. And Shaq is one of the owners of this company. Morning, Pastor Brad. $CSC. Take a look at that one too. Good morning, Lee from Missouri. All right, let's go over the low risk, medium risk stocks to research today. So for low risk, I've been looking at UPS, United Parcel Service. They recently dropped. They were at around $219 a share, and they dropped way down. Let me see where they are this morning. They had a good earnings report, but it wasn't as good as investors had hoped. And this is actually a company that I have in my watch list, and we've gone over this one before. It's at 192. So it's still a little expensive for my taste, but I'm going to keep an eye on it to see if there's a good entry point there. It had a high at around $219 a share. It still has a small dividend over 2%. The risks include a crowded field of logistics companies, Amazon Prime delivery, downturn in the economy. So we see that more people are going out to shop, there's less domestic shipping, and so the company hasn't. That's where what the investors didn't like to see about the company. But it's still on my watch list, and I'm going to keep an eye on it. And I think that at some point here, very soon, we're going to have a good entry point into UPS as a low-risk company. Medium is Ethereum. I like Ethereum. I think it has great momentum, and we even saw that in the article. They really like it, and so I've been investing more in Ethereum here. And every major pullback, I've been buying a little bit, and so I think that Ethereum is a good medium risk investment, just because so many different cryptocurrency and blockchain technology companies are using the Ethereum network for their cryptocurrencies and their blockchain, whatever, NFTs, all of that. General Electric. Let me take a look at General Electric. GE has been... Oh, yes. GE actually did a stock split today. So they're now trading at $105 a share instead of, I believe they were right around $12 a share. So yeah, Gerald said there's a stock split. So what they did is they did a reverse stock split. Will Krispy Kreme do good at some time? I hope so. I mean, their donuts are delicious. But I don't know if they're such a great investment. Krispy Kreme. Unless the $DNUT, unless the meme stock community gets a hold of it, I don't know if it's 78%. From 9 analyst ratings, is from Robinhood. 9 analyst ratings, 78% buy on Krispy Kreme. I'll have to take a look at it, see like what their fundamentals are and everything. Let me make a note of that as well. All right, and the high risk for today is Riot. Riot blockchain cryptocurrency miner. I've had this one a couple of times as a high risk, and I really like this stock. I've made a good amount of money already. I bought it at the low, and I think that that it's going to keep cranking because they have a real opportunity to take over some of the mining capacity from all those companies that got booted in China. And so Riot and Mara, I think those are still going to be good. Good stocks, cryptocurrency miner, cryptocurrency stocks that invest in other companies as well. I think that they're going to do well. Bitcoin will hit 100K. I think so too. I think that we might actually see that 100K by the end of the year. Bought a share in Krispy Kreme. I think that's, Krispy Kreme could do well as a company, especially if they have a buy rating. But I'm going to take a look at it and see like what their fundamentals are. It is possible to invest crypto, $250 in crypto. Absolutely. There's some cryptos that have, if you would have invested $250 in Bitcoin way back when, you'd be sitting pretty now. And there's some cryptocurrencies that have a great product like Stellar Lumens and XRP that we've talked about on here before that have what do you call it? That companies are using to move money overseas. And companies are using to quickly settle transactions. So they have a lot of potential, and I think that they could be worth a good amount of money. Even if you invested $250, I would invest it across several different ones, and you can still make money. And let's go over the tip of the day. Set a stop loss on your stocks. There we go. There have been times where I got greedy and didn't set myself a stop loss. And those are usually the stocks that then I sit on for, months while they recover back to previous levels. So make sure that you set yourself a stop loss. Learn from my mistakes. and set yourself a stop loss. The SEC versus Ripple case, I think that that's going to get settled at some point very soon. I was talking to someone who said that that Ripple might not want retail investors, that they might just want institutional investors, and that might have something to do with it. Cami, that's what I've been looking into those cryptos, because Bitcoin, if it goes up to 100,000 at this point, that would be, it would be double. You'd be basically doubling, a little more than doubling your money. But if you invest in, say, for example, Ethereum, which they think it's going to go up, analysts and different people in the crypto community think that Ethereum is going to go up to 10,000. And at this point, you would be, you'd be 4xing your money. At least 3xing your money on Ethereum. And then there's others like XRP, which is trading at 75 cents, that could go up to $6, $5, and at that point you're 5xing your money. So I think that is that's a way to do it. I would still stick with Bitcoin and Ethereum just a little bit, and not invest too much in those altcoins, because they can be very, very volatile. Sandra said she just joined Coinbase with only $100 and now it's up to $138. That's a 38% return. That would take you so long to get that in the stock market. So that's really good. Oh, so they have like lessons, Sandra, on Coinbase? I'll have to look into that. That lets you earn for learning. Huh. That's interesting. Christopher, I've been investing in Ethereum, and I think it's a good investment for sure. All right, everybody. It's been fun to hang out with you this morning. And Sandra says, yes, they let you earn for learning on Coinbase. I'll have to look into that today. So there you have it. They let you earn a little if you go to trade on Coinbase. Yeah, Robinhood. They don't have a lot of cryptos, but they do let you trade without fees. All right, everyone. Well, it's been fun, and I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you all. Actually, hold on one second. Whoa. Hobbs, New Mexico. Let's put that up. I almost forgot. Evangelist Jonathan is from the 1st through the 6th of August, extended at Hobbs, New Mexico, Choose Life Church on Del Paso Street. So if you're anywhere in that region or not, book a plane ticket, fly out. Been powerful meetings, and they've been extended. And if you love what we're doing here at Revival Today, we do a lot. We feed 1,200 kids a day. We're building a church, traveling all over the world, preaching the gospel. And it's a privilege to be a part of that, and you can be a part of that too. #donate on Facebook. Text RT to 50155. $RT Give on Cash App. @ RT Give on Venmo. revivaltoday.com/PayPal if you want to give on PayPal. And for your donation of any size, we will send you this beautiful Check the Market mug that I have sitting in front of me here with all the gold coins in it. Beautiful. Look at that.
You must be new or something, man.
So that mug could be yours. You can fit your whole hand in it, drink your coffee. So we'll send that to you for a donation of any size today. Look at that. We've got somebody already has a collection of them, including a Check the News one. So why not make that your collection right there? Check the market, check the news. Yeah, it's Magal's dad's collection. He's a big check the market fan. So that is your gift. You can also give cryptocurrencies. We accept cryptocurrencies, and any that you don't see there, you can call our offices 412-446-2332, and we'll be able to take any cryptocurrencies that you might have. Or you can send us a check. Revival Today, P.O. Box 7, Prosperity, PA 15329. And then, very important, don't forget to claim your offer. revivaltoday.com/offer. That way we can send that mug to you, because if you give cryptocurrencies or Cash App or any of those other ones, we don't have your address or information. So if you could do that, we'll get that out to you as soon as possible. All right, that's it for today. Love you too, Jake. All right, everyone, have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.